Hi team. Today I'm going to explain not actually BDD, and I want to explain like BDD versus TDD and what are the difference between them, how BDD implemented, why BDD needed to our industry. After that, I will implement. I already implemented the small develop implementation by doing TDD and BDD, so I can show to you what are the different between them and what are the advantage using BDD to when doing automation. So first I'm going to start with a small diagram, and because it will help you to understand why BDD implemented. What is the main reason BDD came into picture, and here you can see, and now 10 years back, based on my research, and I found most of the companies are followed waterfall development process, SDLC process, that methodology to do the releases. So based on that, first you can and first you have to, and when come to waterfall development methodology, and there is a client, and client we directly meet up with the BA or PM, project manager. So identify requirement and clarification, but happening under BA and PM only. In that time, client have many suggestions, many requirements, but in this waterfall methodology, BA and PM only involved into those requirements and finalizing requirement. So based on that client satisfaction requirement, the BA will agree, we will proceed those releases in these days. So sometime those periods, BA or PM had to leave from their country, from need to go to their client like client country, client, and there are some courses like 3-month or 2-month courses happening to identify for delivering the requirement to organization or BA or PM. So I meaningfully I got, for example, I got 3-month period to that identify requirement specification and finalize the requirement specification docs from BA or PM. So for target, I mentioned just 3 months. So after that, client will say like, I want to see this release after 1 year. I mean, altogether, including this 3 month, I want to see these releases after the 1 year. So here you can see first 3 months is gone for identify requirement specification part. So secondly, we have to move to, then now BA can finalize the requirement. He had to deliver to the requirement to developer team and plus testing team. So in that time, when it comes to development, there are lots of designing. First, they have to do before the development process. They have to discuss with PM with the requirement, and then he have to do some designing parts. That UML diagram flows like class, activity, sequence, that DFT diagrams if you want, they have to do. And for that time period plus and develop, we might say 6 months, it get 6 months. So altogether 9 months. So in that time period, tester what will do? There's a question. So testers not ideal not that time, because they have to do some task like they have to do also designing parts like test case designing, and for designing part they have to plan like what are the levels of software testing have, and what are the techniques they have to follow based on the requirement, and the boundary value analysis and state transition diagram. There are some technologies, right, to to identify the requirement based on the design. So after finalizing design, altogether this 6 month time before develop, they can finalize the test case also in waterfall model. So in that time also get 6 months after develop only hand over to the testing team, and testing team will finalize the do the testing based on the execution of test cases. And in that time period, and testing after testing, there are internally we have as testers definitely find some bugs, and they need to using the Jira and bug life cycle, they have to proceed. So that time defect fixing will come for developer side. So after the defect fixing also from testing side, they need to do the confirmation. So testing plus confirmation testing will happen under this cycle. So altogether, you see right here 9 months, and another 3 month time will if we for a for example, if we deliver to this cycle, and 1 year completed. So after 1 year completion, if we provide this release into client, and for this stage release or something, they will sometimes will be happy. Most of the time, what happened is they not satisfying with the what they delivered requirement, and it's like this if we, the customer client side show like this requirement, but our development side and testing side, we did like this. For example, I'm saying now what happened is client get not satisfied with the requirement. So based on that, definitely BA will try to convince like this is the requirement, this is delivered, but client side not satisfied, because some functionality which might change, some UI might change will happen, because 1 year time, the 6 + 3, which is 9 months time get after because to finalize the requirement and the release. So in that time, BA will unhappy, PM will ask developer and testers what happened to these releases, and there are lots of issues, right? It came up with the same internal team. So by seeing this issue, what happened is there is a person called Dam North. Dam North will introduce a process. It's process like this. Here first, what brand North think is to identify this issue first, and then he try to deliver some solution to this issue. That first slide, you see this issue. What he think is first client will come to picture to give the requirement to organization. Now previously happened is PM only involved in the client, and she have sorry PAOBM not have a proper idea, proper like no they all. Now you see like these two not techie people, because they don't have any coding knowledge, or they have to implement it, from developer side, it is possible or not. Any testing side, there are any issues come up with requirement, they don't know. Only they can do is finalize the requirement and deliver to the developer and testing team. Now in this process, client will come to picture, and developer and tester also come in to finalize the requirement as well as BA. So in this process, most of the issues are come up with this slide fixed, because client will deliver some. For example, I'm saying he want he want a login feature to the that application, that basic front end part. So in that time, he will deliver the requirement, but developer side, you see right, I'm saying this side, when finalize the requirement, developer first thing, he need to go with React or Angular, that frameworks. He will think that only, and because they are not business perspective, they are not good. The development side or testing side, they should have an idea, because they need to test as end-to-end users, but developer side, that mindset not having with them. So in here also same. What happened is, but when the client will give the requirement, at that time developer can say like, for example, that that login part, the developer can provide some criteria. What are the criteria you need to develop based on cost, based on time? They can ask the client and approve. So in that time, for example, the developer can ask you, we can implement a Google login or a Google sign-in or a two-step authentication, or they can do with social media logins. Likewise, they can ask and finalize the login feature with them, and the client will happy, developer will happy based on his idea get approved. And in from tester perspective, and tester can also ask like for a login feature now we talk. So in that time, for a login, how many users do you have with your application, how many users will use. For non-functionality approach, they can ask several load issues, stress volume, those issues they can ask and finalize with client. So in that time, tester have an idea from testing perspective. Yeah, okay, these are these, how many users will engage with their system. And security side, what are the security we need to implement for, as the in the same time, in code level, tester can ask developer, do you have any security concerns with your code. Likewise, in this cycle they can finalize before starting development or testing. So because now three are in same picture, but that the communication part is now in this process also had the issue, because I already said that developer or tester they have not have proper business idea, business logic. Client only have business logic. Developer, tester, most of they are in techie people and they have technological idea. So when it comes to that issue, what Brandon suggests is he introduces simple English format. Like for example, they have given and when then format, he introduced requirement. So requirement finalized with this feature, and for a login feature given like this username, password, and after that any feature available in those this front end part, any text boxes, and after submit, and then what he need to view after finalizing. Like we are doing a session, like we can finalize them. So based on these keywords, based on the simple English, and he finalized the requirement with these people, client and developer and tester. So now you see that now all three are in same picture, because all three have good proper idea and knowledge with say simple English. No, the business perspective, developer, tester also know. And what he need to do, he discussed already. What he need to do as a format and requirement side also, there is a simple English. So they basically from most of the chance have tester, because this keyword and all, and he can finalize come up with the good testing good testing skills with those English keywords, because he not missing any feature or something because of this scenario. And for that, first Barnard, what he did is he introduced a testing framework, that is JBehave. That is the first. So before that, I need to tell this is the cycle that we are saying that behavior driven development, because this is behavior driven development. So who is the father of the behavior development is Dan North. He only implemented this. Now you see, like he introduced, to do this, he introduced Java language. So Java language support framework. It is JBehave. It is the first BDD testing framework implemented to testing community. So, and also after that, now Java have this kind of testing framework. What other community did is, and for example, .NET, they introduced spec flow. And for Ruby community, what did is they implemented Cucumber. So based on Cucumber, it's at that time it get reached, right, most of the countries and all. So that they decide now Cucumber is good with Ruby community. Now the same community what did is they implemented this Cucumber to other languages also, programming language also. They should also support for the Cucumber. So C++, Java, there are some languages Ruby got supported by using Cucumber, because JB have only supported Java. Cucumber now supporting two, 3, 4 languages. So after that, so this is the Cucumber will support that kind of thing. And after this, you see, right, this is the file that finalizing requirement based on simple English format. And we in agile process we are we telling them like story file and epic. It's a large requirement. We declaring as epic, or it's a small requirement. We showing that story. In Cucumber, we are what Damno decide is in Cucumber. For this file, he named as feature file. And from JBHave side, they decide to implement call this file as a story file. So same, but for framework size different names. And for implement this JBehave, Cucumber, spec flow, they need a common language. So it is called Gherkin file. Gherkin language, it is something like Java language. It is also a small language, Gherkin, and it support given and when then formats, those extensions. So after behavior, so behavior development implemented. Now the issue is how it can be appeared to that programming languages, the tester points or development process, and how it can be implemented to the frameworks. So in that time, this is the simple BDD implementation structure. And you see, right, there is a 3 files. You can see one is I already mentioned the JKIM file. It's support given and then format. Other one is step definition. Other one is runner class. And first what did is to communicate with the given and when then format. You see, like we can get a simple feature file. We can create a file and a simple notepad or something like that. We can implement this simple English language into that file. But main thing is we have to do the logical part, right? So logically we have to implement this implementation. So in that time, it's they need intermediate files. So based on this, there is a Java class, and in the TDD also they have a test class to run all the methods and test cases. For these two to communicate this, they need the intermediate file. So it is called step definitions. That file called step definition, it is also the same Java class with actual methods. It is not we have to implement. It is by default implementing by using IntelliJ or Eclipse. We can implement this after finalize this method, the simple English working keyword into the feature file. We can implement this step definitions automatically to communicate this test class and this jerking file. So the step definition will behave as an intermediate file. So that's the main concept, how BDD will implement BDD implementation structure. And so you see, like given and when, then there are some other keywords also. I think you heard about rest assured. It is also if you have worked, you can see they also have given and statements, that keyword. So we can declare like rest assured also. It is also a BDD platform. After this implementation only, the rest assured keywords also came with those keywords, and we can say that after BDD only, that rest assured also implemented heavily and reach it out in worldwide. So, and also I need to show like a small practically I want to implement one thing. Sorry. Here you will see this is TDD. I will mention this as BDD. Here TDD, you can see page object model, page factory model, factory design button, and utility classes, property files, and some other reporting things based on test engine. And here what did is like these things are more come up with techie things, right? Because you can't provide this into your PMO, VA, or a client to get idea what scenarios as a tester point we covered and all. So it is basically a problem like when doing DDD. So in TDD, what advantage is from testers point automation guys, and TDD support for all functional testing. Functional testing, and you see in BDD there is a simple English file called feature file. This will support to be APA or client or any other your organization head or anyone can see and get a simple idea. This is the feature implemented, this is the feature tested, because without implementation we can't test. So get an idea based on the testers this feature file he mentioned in all together in the files, and he can idea any scenario wise this is the scenario captured and all. So BDD will support only acceptance test cases. Sorry, yeah, acceptance. It means like we can't implement all the functional test cases in BDD. Only we can like end-to-end perspective. What are the scenario covered like for a CRUD operation, edit, update, delete, and all. We can those are acceptance criteria. From stage environment, we doing something right before release. So there's those kind of things we can do using BDD. Because every functional scenario we can't cover acceptance test cases because every functionality have simple English keywords, English languages. Like, normal can do, but normally processes only acceptance criteria scenarios only covering BDD. So this is the thing I want to explain. This TDD can main thing is TDD can understand only techie pupils. BDD can understand non-techie plus techie pupils. So that is the thing. And other one is I want to say, like I already mentioned in my second slide. Here you can see PMO BA. Here you can see developer and tester. Now we can see like this after finalizing the requirement, PM delivered to dev plus testing team. In first slide, what I mentioned here, what it is, test developer will do the requirement implementation with his knowledge, acknowledgement and his identical part, but tester will do his testing according to requirement. There are no communication with them, and they both doing each ways, not the same way. They not looking to the requirement. It will happen. So in here, what happened is, now you can see PM deliver the requirement to both. Now, according to my second slide, now they also have an idea about the requirement and they are involved with client. So they know what are the feature implemented. Each is sprint twice or something like that. Two weeks is sprint or something. They know it. Each together know what are the feature implemented, what are the feature tester, and they have to test. So in that time, now you can see like now in first slide what happened is, PM deliver the requirement, tester will finalize after 6 months or something. He will tell, now I complete my testing and all. Developer will say my defect fixing testing, sorry, and dev testing implementation done. PM don't know they implemented or tested or not in that time period, because he can't every day engage with what are the feature tested, development process done. They also not have an idea, because developers are telling techie, because these people cannot understand those things. So now after BDD, what happened is, now tester will implement automation guys implementing BDD, that feature file, right? So based on feature file, PM can understand them. BDD, I already said, PMBA can understand, because simple English language, based on simple English, they can run it scenario wise. So feature file wise, you can run in one feature file can have 100 test cases, 100 scenarios, also have able to have 100 feature files. So it is based on the project, or that is sprint wise, that delivering part. Now you see the PM and BA can understand what are the feature implemented, what are the feature tested. Based on this, now tester have a BDD feature file. If he want, PM can ask, and PM can look into that. That's the main advantage I seeing this. And for BDD, now test case also, you see, right? They also not not like to come up with test cases and verify the test cases and all. Now BDD, they also have like quick engagement with these automation features and all. They will try to catch up with BDD and simple English file. Any scenario they want, they can simply run. That's the thing I have to mention. And we'll come to small. I already developed the TDD part and BDD in the same framework folder. And now you see, right here, what I did is TDD. Here have a page object class. Based on page object class only, here I mentioned methods. Every test will run based on the element in page object class, and property file is there. Any utility classes are there. Singleton design patterns, if I use, those are in this class. So based on this GMOBA, anyone can't get an idea, proper idea, what are the feature or what are the test case implemented from tester point. When come to feature file, you see here, and I simply mention the feature. I got a sample website, that's why I mentioned like this. And this is a register page. My feature is a register into the Mercury Tours website, and there is a background I can mention, and then we can go with given and then statements. And for example, now for first he enter to register page, he need to click like register page, right? I will get that application first.
Harshit, automation site we'll have another day. There's a person, Jason, also waiting to give another demo, small
Okay.
presentation. Yeah,
I will
just explain this one. Just this is scenario and
you see, right? That scenario outline, scenario outline is another scenario. we can call this as this outline not needed actually. If we want like data driven approach, we need to mention outline, because this is a one test case, but based on the value I can decide what are the values I need to pass at the same run, or I can 2-3 times I can execute this test case. That's the basic idea for using testing scenario outline. Now you see, even you enter first name as first name and last name as last name, phone number, and here I pass in the param into these examples, and those two method will execute based on the requirement. Now I will run this class. I can run this class in feature files as well, but I already in my slide, third slide I mentioned you, right? There's another class that we can implement to identically identify this, to connect these two files. So I will run that class. Yeah, I need to simply mention that this feature files class path only. Other things are already it will if we want 100 feature files, just need a comma mark, and we have to put that feature class path. Now I will run this class. Here the now given statement will generated, and another one is given when, and then all submitted. Now I wrote one test case, but uh, two browser pop-up, right? Because of that data driven part in Cucumber. Now you see one failed, one pass, because you see right here, I my after then there is assertion dear Muhammad Hashir only should appear. Here first test case, Tisarni and LK will come up with first name and last name. That test case fail. Other one is got fast. Now if you want generate if you can generate this open the browser with Chrome or Edge, anything, if not Firefox or anything. I will show you the main advantage of using BDD. There is plugins we have to generate the testing reports as well. I will show that one, and I will end up with my presentation. First, we need to clean before run the feature files. I mean, in BDD, we have to first clean and we have to run. That's the process we need to follow. In that time, there's a target folder we create. That's the main advantage. Here now one failed, one pass, and target folder created. There is a Cucumber reports. Now you see under JSON reports and Cucumber pretty folders only have. We have to generate another folder. For that, we have to verify this framework. To that, I will verify this folder, this projective structure. Stop the test and verify. Here you can see advanced reports. In here there are some HTML file generated. You can open it up with a browser, if your favorite browser. Now there is a if you saw right, there's a one test case failed from that salutation message. That English, simple English wise, that we can able to finalize the what are the test scenario failed. Then steps will finalize here, and feature wise there is a fail test case, and which will get scenario wise, one scenario get failed when execute 2 times. One is pass, one is fail. This is the percentage pass and test fail. Now you can see this is the feature that I mentioned in feature file first. According to that, there's that pass criteria, fail criteria, scenario wise, steps wise, also scenario wise. Also we can finalize. Now 50-50, that test scenario get pass and fail have. So this is my presentation. I think you get a basic idea on this, why Goomba implemented. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you.